Super Breakfast Sports, we bring you news of major sporting events from in and around the world, from football,
Balotelli, Aguero, staggering, just staggering.
Basketball,
Stop, 14 from Stop putting Seattle and the Supersonics with the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's different teams.
tennis,
Oh, come on, Rafa Nadal.
Formula One,
It's lights out and away we go. Russell does get away well, as does Max Verstappen. And Valtteri Bottas has got his teammate right alongside him already. Sergio Perez is trying to challenge as George Russell goes into the first 10, and George Russell takes the lead.
boxing,
And he's going for it. Catches Joshua. He's gone, wow. Lee Joshua. Unbelievable.
and fans, time to rep your favorite teams. Only on Super Breakfast Sports Show, weekdays, Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Super Breakfast Sports, thrilling, captivating, and electrifying.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to this terrific edition of Super Breakfast Sports with me, Mary J, on your number one family lifestyle talk and urban radio, Super 93.3 FM, Port Harcourt. Today is Wednesday, the 6th day of July 2022. On the show today, once again, we'll be taking a look at the transfer market. Now, we'll flip it out just a bit. We know we had very intense discussions yesterday morning, people's tempers still flaring from the Super Falcons loss. So we'll try to tone it down a bit today. This time, we'll be talking about the transfer market, and rather than focusing on who's joining whom and how much was paid for the player, we're rather going to talk about the guys that seem forgotten, sometimes maybe unwanted. Who are the players you would sell off at your favorite football club? That is the question we're asking you this morning. And it's important to sell because when you buy, you need to create balance in your squad. We're speaking to Gogori Nemi on the show this morning, who's turned out to be something of a transfer market expert. We'll highlight the top teams in England for purpose of today's broadcast. And of course, you can always feel free to agree or disagree on any of the takes. We'd like to get hear from you as well. We've already got comments on our Facebook at Super FM PH. So if you haven't done that, go head on to our Facebook page at Super FM PH to drop your comments. And as always, we'd like to hear from you via the phone lines when we throw them open, also on our WhatsApp line as well. Without wasting any more time, vamos. Kicking off today's program, we'll start from the home front. Not really at home there in Morocco, but the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Super Falcons head coach Randy Waldrum has promised that the team would learn from the mistakes they made in the 2-1 loss against South Africa and do better against Botswana. Nigeria kicked off her Women's Africa Cup of Nations title defense on a bad note as the nine-time champion suffered a 2-1 defeat against the Banyana of South Africa. However, the loss was not the only thing that sparked controversy. The Super Falcons gave what many people have termed a flat performance until the late embers of the game. Instead of a more organized display and using the midfield as a proper transition play should be, the Super Falcons found it easier to lump the ball forward from the defense for the attackers to chase. Now, despite the team's shortcomings, Randy Waldrum, head coach of the side, believes that the Super Falcons will do better when they file out against Botswana tomorrow, Thursday, 7th of July, 2022. Now, talking about the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, Senegal and host Morocco became the first and second teams to secure their place in the quarterfinals of the 2022 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, WAFCON, doing so yesterday being day 4 of the tournament. The victory saw Group A complete their second round of matches with the fate of Burkina Faso and Uganda hanging by a thread with one more match each to play on Friday. Senegal beat Burkina Faso by 1-0, while host Morocco thrashed Uganda by 3-1. So you have it. Morocco, Senegal, first teams through to the quarterfinal stages. The way that this tournament is designed, the top 2 teams from each group will make it automatically to the quarterfinal stage, while there will be 2 best third place teams selected from the 3 groups. Back home, President of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amajo Melvin Pinnick, on Tuesday expressed shock at a report in the section of the media which claimed that he had attacked the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Honorable Sunday Dare, over a perceived aspiration for a third term as President of the NFF. Now, in a report which made the rounds 2 days ago, the FIFA Council member was alleged to be on a spending spree in the media to tarnish the image of the minister and also undermine Mr. President's authority to speak about Nigerian football. Pinnick, however, referred to the reports as a clear case of a dirty campaign, stressing that he has never given any interview or motivated any media person to write anything about the president's directives or to insult the honorable minister. The NFF president also informed that arrangements to hold the annual General Assembly of the Nigerian Football Federation are in order and will go into full swing once the court communicates the notice of discontinuance of the two cases that have been delaying the convocation of the Congress to the Nigerian Football Federation. Pinnick, who is at the ongoing Women Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, said he is ready to return fire for fire with purveyors of falsehood and half-truths, whether they operate day or night, or on legacy or social media. Now, to some other sporting stories, no fewer than 300 participants are expected at the second edition of Governor Doye Diri National Scrabble Championship, which holds in Yenagoa, the capital of Bayelsa State, between the 15th and the 17th of July, with a total sum of 5 million naira up for grabs. The Nigeria Scrabble Federation, the NSF, sanctioned competition will feature 5 categories, namely the Masters, Intermediate, Veterans, Opens, and Students. Chairman of the Bayelsa State Scrabble Association, the BSSA, Daniel Alabra, revealed that registration is free for secondary school students based in Bayelsa, and also that the top female players in different categories would get special prizes. The BSSA chairman explained that the target of the free registration was to encourage the young ones to develop interest in the game and to be able to catch them young. Alabra, who is also the chief press secretary to the state governor, further stated that the winner of the Masters category will get 500,000 naira as the star prize. Now, to some more international stories, Ghana have now informed that they would appeal against the fine and ban imposed on its women under-17 football team after being found guilty of age cheating. Last month, Morocco edged past Ghana on penalties to qualify for the 2022 Women's Under-17 World Cup, but subsequently launched a protest about their opponents. According to the BBC, the North Africans claimed 2 players in the Black Maidens were overage. The Confederation of African Football, CAF, investigated the claims and subsequently banned Ghana from the next 2 editions of Africa's qualifying for the Women's Under-17 World Cup and added a fine of $100,000. The Ghana Football Association has now said that it would appeal in writing to CAF. More controversies now because the Sierra Leonean Football Association, the SLFA, is investigating the outcome of 2 matches that produced an unbelievable total of 187 goals. This is according to reports from Sierra Leonean sports journalist Hawa Dauda. The second-tier game saw Kanema-based Kahunla Rangers and Gulf FC of Kono heavily defeating their city rivals in Premier League qualifiers on Sunday go-rounds. Kahunla walloped Lambebu United 95-0, and Gulf FC thrashed Kokioma Lebanon 91-1. Providing the 2 biggest victories recorded in the history of Sierra Leonean football. However, the halftime scores were just 2-0 and 7-1 respectively, and both results have been annulled because of suspicion of match manipulation. Speaking to Super FM, Hawa informed that the SLFA, that is Sierra Leonean Football Association, said it would investigate players and officials from all 4 clubs involved, designated match officials, and the Eastern Region Football Association.
The FA just issued out a press release yesterday. We are still waiting. All I know, the Eastern Region, they have suspended the 4 teams that are involved. These teams are under the Eastern Region. They are Division 1 teams. They are playing to qualify for the Premier. So we are still waiting.
The SLFA added that it maintains zero tolerance against match manipulation in the West African country in compliance with the rules of world governing body FIFA and the Confederation of Africa Football, CAF. To some updates from the ongoing Grand Slam at SW19 in London, Wimbledon. Britain's Cameron Norrie reached the Wimbledon semi-finals by fighting back to defeat Belgium's David Goffin in a memorable five-set thriller, which left the home fans celebrating jubilantly. Ninth seed Cameron Norrie battled hard to secure a 3-6, 7-5, 2-6, 6-3, 7-5 win against the unseeded Belgian David Goffin. And more results from the men's singles draw games played yesterday. Novak Djokovic came from 2 sets down to defeat Italy's Yannick Sinner 5-7, 2-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2 to set up a semi-final matchup against homeboy David Goffin. Later today in the men's draw, we'll see Christian Garin from Chile take on Nick Kyrgios of Australia, who has been in the bad books recently. Taylor Fritz from the United States of America will confront Rafael Nadal in the other quarterfinal stage. In the women's draw, yesterday we saw good result for Tunisia's Ons Jabeur, Africa's top-ranked players in the WTA draw. She defeated Maria Bouzkova, coming from a set down to defeat the Czech 3-6, 6-1, 6-1. And elsewhere, in the Battle of the Germans, Tatiana Maria defeated Jules Niemeyer 4-6, 6-2, 7-5 to reach her first ever Grand Slam semi-finals. Later today, we'll see Australia's Adela Tomljanovic take on Elena Rybakina, and Simona Halep, former Grand Slam champion, will take on Amanda Anisimova. And now for our big discussion, let us connect with Gogo Orinemi on Super Breakfast Sports today for some news and updates from the transfer market. All right, we've been joined by Gogo Orinemi over the air, and it's a pleasure having you on Super Breakfast Sports once again, Gogo.
Yeah, man, Mr. Maris and fans of the show, good to be here, man. Let's go with that.
You're becoming something of maybe a Podhaco Fabrizio Romano, but that's just a little bit of compliment. We're talking about the transfer market once again. This time, we're not talking about players coming into the club. We're talking about players that could be leaving the club or should be leaving the club before the close of the transfer market, the summer transfer market in Europe. Now, usually fans and football lovers get excited when they sign new players. But why is it important that when you get new players, you also have to, create room for in the squad, regards to the squad balance?
It is important because on the basis of how last season ended for most teams, you would expect there should be loads and loads of movement in the eyes of most fans. These players didn't contribute enough. Yeah, good morning. These players didn't contribute enough, so they should be sent packing. But this is where the desire of the coach and that of the player needs to be. Like, we need to have that 50-50 balance. For instance, I'll give a perfect example. We knew Lukaku couldn't fit in as Chelsea. They tried to find a way to send him away. Good morning. The other one was Nikolai Pepe. Yeah, I'm saying. Most Arsenal fans would say sell him, But at the same time, you don't know the ambition of the player or that of the coach. You don't know the discussion they've had during pre-season. Show me, these are the things I want you to work on for you to get back into my team. If you deliver, and I promise to get you more game time, so that is why it is difficult. For Liverpool fans, they will tell you, Chamberlain, there's no way he should be part of the first team squad. Some persons are even saying that the Keita shouldn't sign a new deal. So this arithmetic, all is going to be done on the basis of pre-season and what the coach wants to offer. So I would say it's pretty difficult then for Chelsea. Loads and loads of sales. So I'd say, in as much as we want the shiny new toy every season, it is very important that we find the right balance, because remember, there's a certain number of players you can register. So you don't keep players that won't be part of the team, or who you don't have hope that they're going to make any meaningful contribution in the coming season.
All right, we were getting your audio really clear. It was crisp and clear, but there seems to be a little bit of an issue now with your audio, so I don't know if you can fix that. But the question now, let's get to the question I'm sure a lot of fans would want to really contribute, talking about how it concerns their respective clubs. Let's take a look at the top 6 clubs in England for the basis of this discussion this morning. Manchester City, looking at that squad, there are hardly players you think you'd like to ship out of the club, but we know that maybe Raheem Sterling will not be at the club. Aside Raheem Sterling, what other players you think could possibly leave Man City in this transfer window?
I think Bernardo Silva is. I don't know where Barca keep getting their funds from, but it looks like they are hell bent on getting Bernardo Silva, and also Riyad Mahrez could be angling for a move, and Chelsea are also trying to get Nathan Ake. So I would say these players are in search of, in as much as they stay with Man City, they are sure of winning the titles, but at the same time they need the security of playing week in, week out. This is the World Cup year, so many players will be angling out for a move, because if you're playing a big part role for your club and your national team is in the top echelon of national team football, there's a chance someone playing week in, week out will get a nod over you anytime, any day, and as long as the coach is not as sentimental as a certain English coach, Southgate. So I would say we will see loads and loads of movement, or the coaches in the team will have to make promises. That's for Man City. All right.
For Man City now, you've mentioned Nathan Ake, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, and then possibly also Raheem Sterling. For Liverpool, it's quite difficult, picking players that could possibly leave the squad. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has been sounded out, but there has been no official confirmation from the club. Do you think there could be a reasonable amount of outgoing from Liverpool?
Yes, I think, and it's funny because yesterday was the second day in pre-season. He doesn't look like someone that would be leaving. That's why we talked about how important this break is for these players. He might have sat down and said, maybe it was not entirely the coach's fault. Maybe I didn't do my own part. I want to prove that I can be part of this thing, because it is difficult. Liverpool will be competing for trophies on all fronts. Do you want to leave them and go and become a mid-table team, someone that may be potentially fighting for relegation? Depends on where you move to. So I would say these are besides Chamberlain, no other person is angling for a move. What Liverpool fans are complaining is like they need quality in the midfield instead of just quantity. When you have Milner, Thiago, these players are very good, but at the same time you need quality, and the quality is someone that can get them goals from the midfield. So I think from Liverpool, besides Chamberlain, or maybe Curtis Jones going out on a loan, but I don't think Klopp rates him very highly, so he's going to keep him at the club.
All right, and finally, we'll just try to wrap up now because of time. Let's go through third place Chelsea, fourth place Tottenham Hotspurs, fifth place Arsenal, and then finally Manchester United.
Yeah, for Chelsea, Hakim Ziyech looks like the one that is definitely leaving. It looks like he will find a way, an angle out for a move. Same thing goes for Christensen. Okay, no, Christensen is already gone. So I would say Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner. We don't know where their head is, their mental space. For Manchester United, they need a spine, and don't know who they are going to get. For Tottenham, I tell you, besides Harry Winks, everybody wants to stay. We were playing Europa League football. No, not Europa. We were playing Conference League. We were booted out. The same season we qualified for the Champions League, and now any player will be angling for a move when they've had the best transfer window they've had in a very long time. Remember, under Mauricio Pochettino, there was a transfer window that they didn't sign anybody. So I would say for Tottenham, most guys would like to stay.
All right, and well, thank you so much for your time. You've made some interesting picks there, and I'm really itching to hear what the guys think from the various clubs. Well, thank you so much for your time on the show this morning, Google.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, you've heard from Google. We've all heard from Google. If perhaps he said something you do not agree with, for the Manchester City team, the Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Tottenham Hotspur, feel free to disagree. If you agree, of course, let us know. On our Facebook channel where we're live streaming at Super FM PH, you can go there and drop your comments. You can also drop your comments on our WhatsApp line 0905 948-1021. That's 0905-948-1021. And you can put your phone calls directly through to us here in the studio, 0705-079-1021 and 0811-743-1021. We all want new players, like Google refers to them, new shiny toys. But this reality is that as players come, players also leave. Who are the players you're perhaps fed up with at your club and you'd like to see the back of them? Good morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm calling from Bunabali. My name is Arthur Opara.
Go ahead, sir.
Lukaku coming back to Chelsea and going back because of good performance. Lukaku did not perform at all in Chelsea, so he's going back to where he comes from, Inter Milan. Better.
Okay.
And Riyad Mahrez, is he available? Man City?
No official bids yet, but it's a possibility.
Okay. And Chamberlain have overstayed in Liverpool. Chamberlain have overstayed. I don't see him play matches. He's just there collecting trophies, not playing. I mean, I think if I do to leave Liverpool, let him go. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Arthur Opara. Really interesting thing. He thinks, well, Chamberlain would not mind staying on the bench and collecting trophies, except maybe he wants to play at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Good morning to you. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Good morning, my good brother.
Good morning to you.
Liverpool touchline, Umo.
Liverpool touchline, go ahead.
I'm very, very happy for Chamberlain to leave Liverpool.
Okay, why?
But nothing that since we buy Chamberlain from Arsenal, it's only shine one season. The following season, he fell into injury. And right from that moment, as he came back from injury, you don't need to show anything. So it's very, very good for him to leave Liverpool because we want midfielder, a man that can keep us good.
All right.
Liverpool is not Champions League now.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Umo. Good morning to you. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Good morning, my humble brother.
Good morning, Ken Billion.
My brother, I want this guy to leave Maguire.
To leave Manchester United. Okay.
Honestly, I'm the biggest suspect he has in that United. That is why we do not qualify for Champions League. That guy contributes 5% of where Man U is.
All right.
And the Bailey, Maguire, and the Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, okay.
Less than immediate.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. Good morning to you. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Good morning. My name is Desire.
Good morning to you, Desire.
I'm calling from Samadi.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. You know, one thing people don't understand in this player. You remember when Bafasi was playing for Arsenal? Gibbs was playing for Arsenal. Tambali was playing for Arsenal. Kazola was playing for Arsenal. These are injury players. They know how to play football, but they are injury players.
Yeah.
Anytime they sign in a season, before you know it, they will pick injury that will take them off for 2 seasons. But for him, Tambali, I think I'm so happy with him.
Okay.
He was like being frustrated in Arsenal because of FA Cup and Carling Cup. As God may have it, we move on. Now today, we can display every medal.
Yeah.
Apart from the World Cup, before he's able. So, for him, it's a life. If they ask me, I sit on the bench and take my money. If they want to play me, they play me. Because the more they play him, the more they see his value. Yes, if you play him, you see his value. He's a very wonderful player. He has good move and he has good shot. He doesn't have to score goals.
All right.
But he's an injury player. These are Arsenal players. I know very well to be an injury player.
All right. Thank
you very much.
Thank you so much for your thoughts. Good morning to you. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Obogo.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I want Ronaldo to leave. I want Ronaldo to leave Manchester United. He coming back last season, I was so annoyed. Just that there's no how we can do it. But this time around, since he want to leave, I'm of opinion that he should go because if Ronaldo did not leave, believe me, Ronaldo will give Manchester United the current new coach a lot of problems. You know, he's a big player. Everybody depends on him. So if Ronaldo leaves now, Manchester United, you know that He doesn't have anyone that can defend so that the player will step up to their ball.
All right.
So Ronaldo coming to Manchester United, for me, you should just allow him to just go. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. Missed that one. Get back to us if you can. And let's head on to our Facebook now. This from Haziel Goodness underneath our Facebook screen. If you're not watching that, you can go ahead on Facebook at Super FMPH and watch the program live on our Facebook page. This from Haziel Goodness. He's watching from Adamawa State, and he says he's saying good morning. Well, thank you for joining the program all the way from Adamawa State. We've got other comments on our Facebook from Solomon Harrison. He says, as a Man U fan, I will sell Maguire, Jones, Scott McTominay, Fred, Wan-Bissaka, and Rashford, and bring in Pau Torres, Jules Koundé, Dybala, Lewandowski, and Wilfred in the really long list, really long shopping list you've got there. Oliver Dave says Arsenal should sell, he says Nicola Pepe for Arsenal. And Badom G. Sani says Maguire and Jones. I'm assuming that you're a Manchester United fan. Josie Subochi says Maguire, Jones, Ronaldo. Noale Befi says I'm an Arsenal fan. I would sell Nicola Pepe and Hector Bellerin. There is one from Olushola James, really lengthy one. I'll see if I can try to take that one. But let's get a final call through on the show this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to Super Breakfast Sports.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Samuel.
Good morning,
I'm calling
Samuel.
from Kalabo.
You're a final caller, so just go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say that about Manchester United. I want to say that I think Man should allow Ronaldo to go. So that Ronaldo will not be a problem to Manchester United coming season. Because now that this man said he want to go, they should allow him to go. Because I know that this last season that passed, Ronaldo also contributed for the problem of Manchester United.
Okay.
No matter that he was the one that is making the scoring of the goal.
Right.
But the problem that Man is having today is contributed by Ronaldo coming to Man, making those boys not picking up, making them not to play the way they are playing before. They should allow him to go so that it will not be a problem to this new coach that is there now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. And while we're looking for Ronaldo, Maguire, Jones, and the rest to go, Manchester United yesterday announced the signing of fullback Tyrell Malacia from Feyenoord on a 4-year contract until June 2026. So the only top 6 team left to announce a signing this season, Chelsea. And it's on that note we'll wrap up Super Breakfast Sports this morning. It's been a joy doing this one with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Even all the guys who tuned all the way from Adamawa State, thank you so much for joining the program. Thank you for your calls. Thank you for your messages on Facebook and at least attempting to send your call, messages or put your phone call through to us. We will be back by 5 p.m. today. We'll talk about a lot of transfer stories when we return for Sports Traffic. But in the meantime, there are many, many exciting programs coming your way. And I'm sure OBIV will be here in the jiffy to run you through them. Keep listening to Nigeria's #1 family lifestyle talk and urban radio, Super 93.3 FM, Port Harcourt.
We know what you want and how you want it.
We are Super FM. Yeah! Because no one does it better. We are Super FM.
We know what you want and how you want it.
We are Super FM. Yeah!
To the heart, I never kissed a mouth that tastes like yours. Strawberries and something more.